Hello students, today we are going to study comparative anatomy of integument of vertebrates. Integument, the skin with its derivatives is known as the integument. The integument, besides giving a shape and identity to the animal, it is the boundary between the organism and the environment. It protects the animal from the environmental hazards. Then the skin consists chiefly of two layers. The outermost layer is epidermis, which is made up of epithelial cells, and the inner dermis layer, which is made up of connective tissue. The epidermis layer derived from the ectoderm of the embryo during the development of the animal. Then the lowermost layer of cells is of more or less columnar cells. This layer is the most active, or it is said that it is a living layer of cells and produces new cells by the process of mitotic division. Then a number of epidermal derivatives actually lie in the dermis, such as branches of nerves, receptors, fine blood capillaries, and smooth muscle fibers. Corpuscles in the dermis respond to the stimuli of heat, cold, pressure, and friction extra. And chief derivatives of skin in the mammalian skin are the hair and glands, like the sweat and sebaceous glands in the dermis. And if you see during the evolutionary period, there are a number of changes takes place among the animals. The group of vertebrates. In this group, we can see that there are a number of changes takes place during this evolutionary period. Then, if you take the example of fishes, the group fishes, in this we can see that the epidermis is stratified, but the cells at the surface are not fully keratinized as in cyclostomes. Derivatives such as glands, scales, and spines are quite common. Skin of cartilaginous fishes like the elasmobranch is tough, fibrous, and armed with numerous placoid scales. Then the dermis of cartilaginous fishes has three layers. The outermost layer around the that is neck of the scales, which is nearly free of fibers, called the stratum laxum. Skin of fishes is more glandular and slimy. Dermis contains color cells and exoskeleton and takes part in the development of scales. This is the vertical section of skin of a fish, in which we can see the two separate layers, epidermis and dermis. Then in amphibians, epidermis is stratified and the cells of stratum corneum are slightly cornified in frogs. Cornified cells are flattened and dry but not dyed. Then the cornified, or we can say the horny cells, are let loose in small membrane like pieces and thrown off in the form of that is exua, the exoskeleton. The epidermis in amphibians is renewed many times in their life. Then the sludging process, or we can say that shedding, has nothing to do with the growth of the body. It takes place periodically. The glands that is in the dermis are formed of the stratum germinativum, which in that is invaginated into the dermis. Glands either produces the mucus or poison in amphibians. In some cases, it is noted that the scent is also present. This is the vertical section of the amphibians, in which the layers like the epidermis, the dermis, these are the layers, separate layers is shown in this diagram. Then in reptiles, the skin is rough, dry, and scaly, enabling them to lead a perfect terrestrial life. epidermis has a heavily confined stratum corneum, which gives rise to epidermal cells. Exoskeleton of such scales is thrown off periodically in fragments or as one piece. The process of shading is noted in reptiles. Then glands are practically absent, and the dermis is usually differentiated into two layers. Then the chromatophores are abundant in the upper layer of dermis. Under the dermis, many reptiles have specialized scales forming dermal scales or plates, like in snakes and calotes. Then such scales in the lizards are found over the head region. In other reptiles, they are more widely distributed throughout their body. Then the color change in some reptiles is under the control, we can say under the control of hormonal influence. Then this is the vertical section of the reptilian skin. In birds, the skin is thin, loose, and dry. There are no glands besides an oil gland at the base of the tail, which play an important role to nourish the feathers with the help of the oil which is secreted by this gland. The stratum corneum is developed in exposed parts such as the feet, where epidermal scales are present. At all other places, stratum corneum is used to form an exoskeleton of feathers throughout the body. Other keratin derivatives of birds are the beaks and claws, which are a little more hardy in nature. Then epidermis is supplied with nerve endings, and epidermis bears a number of cutaneous receptors. The smooth muscles and voluntary muscles are fairly abundant in the dermis layer, which raise or lower the feathers. Color is the main confine to the feathers, in which pigment is transferred from special pigment producing chromatophore like amoeboid cells in the feathers papilla. Due to that, we can see there are number of birds which having beautiful colors. This is the vertical section of the skin of birds, in which the layers like epidermis and dermis is clearly shown with the that is the growth of the derivatives like feathers. Then in mammals, the mammals integument is stratified, and comparatively thinner epidermis lies over the dermis. The fats, sweat glands, and other glands, hair, and a variety of cutaneous receptors are very characteristics. Melanophores or dendritic cells are found in the epidermis. The melanophores are most under neural control, or we can say it is under the hormonal control. However, the synthesis of melanin can be influenced by the hormone, that is MSH, of which is secreted by middle pituitary gland, and prolonged effect of temperature of the environment. Mammals are hardly capable of color change. We can see that the color change is not takes place in mammals. Only in some birds like reptiles, or in other some birds species they are found. Then this is the vertical section of the skin of mammals, in which the epidermal layer, dermis layer, and the layer, that is the subcutaneous layer, is found with the we can say that the derivatives which are present in the form of hairs. Then you can see the particularly different types of horns in mammals. These are the derivatives. The horns. These are also derivatives which are found in the mammals. Thank you.